Today I am going to discuss about the tympanic membrane. This is the external ear and this one is the external auditory canal. Here one important point is there to remember. The tympanic membrane makes some angle with the external auditory canal. See here, they will make an angle with the external auditory canal. This angle is 55 degrees. This angle is an important site for the foreign bodies to lodge here. The foreign bodies will easily lodge here. This is also called as an anterior recess. It is also called anterior recess. So the surgeons will do the will pass the water from upside. See. The surgeons will pass the water from upside so that it will flush away the foreign bodies. See, there will be the pressure applies in this direction so that there will be the removal of foreign bodies like this. This is a very important point. The tympanic membrane makes somewhat angle with this. And the tympanic membrane has two parts, which is called pars tensa and pars flaccida. First, draw the diagram with me so that you can remember easily. This one is the external auditory canal. This external auditory canal, here is the tympanic membrane. This line I am drawing here is tympanic membrane. This one is the tympanic membrane. Here will be the middle ear. This one is the middle ear. The middle ear, here 6 mm. Here is the 2 mm. Here is 4 mm. The diameter of the middle ear. What happens? The first, this line, here to here, this line is called pars tensa. At the level of pars tensa, the middle ear is called the mesotympanum. Above the level of pars tensa, it is called epitympanum. Below the level is called hypotympanum. In the epitympanum, we have the ear ossicle named malleus. These malleus have lateral process of the malleus have lateral process, and here is the neck is very long. It will be like this. This is the handle of the malleus. The part of the tympanic membrane which is present above the lateral process of malleus, this part, is called the pars flaccida. The part of the tympanic membrane which is present below the lateral process is called the pars tensa. Laterally we have the skin. This is the skin layer. Medially we have the epithelium of the middle ear. Here is the epithelium of the middle ear like this. Medially we have the epithelium of middle ear and laterally we have the skin of the external auditory canal, and here we have the loose connective tissue. In the pars tensa, the connective tissue is having the fibers named. It has radial fibers, circular fibers and parabolic fibers. All these fibers present in the pars tensa makes the pars tensa more tense. This layer becomes more tense because of the presence of radial, parabolic and circular fibers in the connective tissue. Here we have the loose connective tissue, it doesn't have any fibers. So this pars flaccida is very loose and the pars tensa is very tight. That means very tense. This is about the pars tensa and pars flaccida. What are the layers of tympanic membrane? The layers of tympanic membrane, medially we have the mucosa epithelium. epithelium of the mucosa, and middle we have the connective tissue, fibrous connective tissue, and laterally we have the epithelial layer, skin epithelial layer. Not the skin means not the skin epithelial layer. These are the layers. Medially, you can write inner, outer and middle. This is the pars tensa and pars flaccida. Then clinical features of the tympanic membrane is Prusack's space. Have you heard of the Prusack space? I will tell you. Prusack space is present between the malleus and pars flaccida. This is the Prusack space. Right only. It is present between the neck of the malleus and the pars tensa. This is called the Prusack space. This is an important site for the cholesteatoma. It is very difficult to remove cholesteatoma from this Prusack space. That is the importance of that one. Then, if you pass a strong light into the external ear, it passes to the external auditory canal, and you can visualize the tympanic membrane. Then how the tympanic membrane looks if you pass a strong light into the ear? I will show you. You will see like a round shape. In that you will see a handle of the malleus, and you can also see the anterior malleolar fold and the posterior malleolar fold. Anterior malleolar fold and the posterior malleolar fold. Above we have the lateral process of the malleus. The part which is present above this lateral process is called the pars flaccida. As we have seen that the part of the membrane which is present above this lateral process is called the pars flaccida. Pars flaccida. Then part is present, which part of the membrane which is present below this is called the pars tensa. Periphery of the pars tensa is thickened to form the annulus tympanicus, and anterior it is deficient. This is called the notch of Rivinus. Notch of Rivinus. The periphery is thickened to form the annular tympanicus. Here the at the this what is this malleus, tip of the malleus, where this tympanic membrane is tented inward like this. This tympanic membrane is tented inward. This point is called the umbo. This point is called the umbo, where at this point where the tympanic membrane is tented inward like a V shape is called the umbo. And here will be the torchlight, cone of light. You have thrown the light now. This is a cone of light, and you can see the incudostapedial joint here. It will be the incus and the stapes. You can see the incudostapedial joints and the oval window, and here is the round window, and here is the shadow of eustachian tube. These are the parts you can see when you throw a torchlight. When you pass a torchlight into the tympanic membrane. Yes, blood supply. What is the blood supply? Remember blood supply as MAM. Maxillary artery, auricular artery, meningeal artery. Maxillary artery, auricular artery, posterior auricular artery and middle meningeal artery. This is the blood supply. Nerve supply. Inside, this is the inside, here is the outside. Inside it is supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve, the tympanic branch of glossopharyngeal nerve. That tympanic branch is also called as Jacobson's nerve. Jacobson's nerve. And here is inside, outer, it is supplied by the vagus nerve. Then auriculotemporal nerve. The vagus nerve, auricular branch. This auricular branch is also called as, yes, Arnold's nerve or Elderman's nerve. Then auriculotemporal nerve. This is everything about the tympanic membrane. If I have missed anything, please comment me.